Ever met someone who asked, "So what do you do?" And they reply, a bit of everything.
Welcome to 2026, where your job title means less than your Wi Fi speed. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need job titles anymore. It needs builders, people who don't wait for permission. They just start creating.
Welcome back to the Age of Reinvention. I am your host Aditya, and today we are discussing something we all of us feels: the death of the job title.
It's not bad news, it's actually the biggest opportunity of our time. There was a time when job titles defined you. You were an engineer, a designer, a teacher, a manager.
Your title gave you identity, respect, and a ladder to climb. But then something changed. AI started coding, automation started designing, and the internet started teaching. Suddenly, the label didn't matter anymore. What mattered was what you could create. There's this guy named Alex, a college intern at a small tech firm. While his team was busy waiting for approvals, he quietly built a small AI chatbot to help coworkers find files faster. A month later, the CEO noticed that small tool saved the company 300 hours of work. 6 months later, Alex left his internship to start his own automation startup. He didn't get promoted, he built his way out. That's the new rule. You don't wait for the titles, you create results. The world doesn't ask, "What's your position?" It asks, "What can you build?" You can be a marketer who codes, a designer who sells, a student who automates workflows on weekends. That mixed curiosity is what makes you unstoppable. And the best part? You don't need permission. You just need the courage to start. Forget Figma for a second. Let's talk about Canva, the design platform used by millions. When Melanie Perkins pitched her idea to investors in 2012, she wasn't a tech founder. She was a college student teaching design part time. People told her, "You're not an engineer. You don't have a team. You don't have a title." But she built anyway. She herself taught the product, built a tiny prototype, and convinced a few engineers to join. A decade later, Canva is worth over $25 billion. Not because Melanie had a title, but because she had a builder mindset. She didn't wait for someone to call her a CEO. She earned it by building something people needed. Builders don't say, "That's not my job." They say, "Let's figure it out." They learn fast, test faster, fail forward. They use AI as their assistant, YouTube as their university, and curiosity as their fuel. They're not tied to roles, they are tied to impact. They think like creators, not employees. They build first, title later. The problem today, it's not the big companies, it's the old systems. The education system still teaches you to memorize. The corporate system still teaches you to follow. But the internet teaches you to build. Think about it. You can learn AI in 3 weeks on YouTube, launch a tool on Product Hunt in 3 days, and get your first 1000 users on X in 3 hours. Meanwhile, traditional systems are still asking for your 5 years of experience. That's why the real revolution doesn't happen in the offices. It happens in the browsers. Builders aren't breaking rules. They're building new ones. They don't need permission, just Wi-Fi and curiosity. And that's why systems are collapsing. They weren't built for the people who can teach themselves anything overnight. Look at YouTube. 10 years ago, content creator wasn't even a job title. Now, creators with no degrees, no offices, no titles are running multi-million dollar businesses. One camera, one laptop, one voice. They didn't wait for promotions, they promoted themselves through their actions. That's the builder revolution. Let's be real. Titles made us feel safe. They told us who we were, but they also told us when to stop. Because once you're senior something, you stop experimenting, you stop learning. Builders never stop. They reinvent after every 6 months because the world does the same. So here's the truth: you don't need a title to matter, you need momentum. The next big movement won't start in a boardroom,
It will start in a small room with two people, one laptop, and one impossible idea. Don't wait for your next role. Build your next reality, because in this new world, you are not an employee. You are the architect of your own future. This is the age of reinvention. And remember, you are not defined by your title. You are defined by what you build.